I got air in my lungs, I'm so lucky. I got shoes on my feet, I'm so lucky. Got a roof over my head, I'm lucky. I got water to drink, I'm so lucky. Got light in my eyes, I'm so lucky.
Hey y'all, it's your girl Kasthebestie, and I felt like I needed to come on here to explain to you guys, a time that I felt like God showed me that He was so real. He showed me that He was the one who was always gonna have my back, no matter what. I'm gonna tell you this story. So there was a point in time where pretty much I was stripped of everything that I've had. Yes, I've went through that time where I felt like my faith was being tested. I feel like I'm such a good person. Why do I feel like I'm losing everything? I felt like I was losing my sanity, the control over my life. I was losing people, and I just didn't know where to go. In this moment, I had to end up making a move, making a choice for myself in order for me to do better in my own life. So I ended up going to the hospital, and I told them I don't have anywhere to go with my daughter in my bags, and they ended up putting us in a hotel for the night. Then the next day we went over to the DTA office and we ended up getting into a shelter. The shelter wasn't far from where I already lived, so that was a good aspect of this journey. So as I was in this journey, I ended up getting a new job and trying to, better myself so that I could save up and get myself my own apartment, because where I was living previously was with my parents. And during this period of time, it felt like I was very alone. Only a few people that I had with me that was able to really know what I was going through at that period of time and was a listening ear for me. I had no transportation. I was very broke most of the time, which was weird because, I was in a shelter. I didn't have many bills to pay, but that was because my mind wasn't on right. I was still trying to keep up with the fact that I didn't want people to know that I was in a shelter, and I didn't want people to look down on me for being in a position of homelessness. And this is not even an experience that I've experienced once in my life. I've also experienced this as a child. So this was kind of a moment of, I feel like I'm repeating a cycle that continues in my life. But in this moment, I had the choice. I had the choice of whether I was going to succumb to the circumstances or whether I was going to grow and rise above it. So while I was in the shelter, I experienced having a roommate who she kind of, I'm not even going to talk about her. I'm not going to talk about her. What I'm going to talk about is the fact that the living circumstances were not up to par. I had a daughter I do have a daughter, but at the time she was about 2-3 years old. She had just got diagnosed with autism, and I wanted to be able to have a healthy environment for her, but as well be considerate of the people who are also around me, because I understand that we're all in tough circumstances. But the circumstances got so bad to the point that I ended up quitting my job because I was just so, I was in a period of, I can't do this. I was losing my mind. I have to wake up at 5 in the morning so that I could get me and my daughter ready so that I can go to work and bring her to daycare. And I don't have any transportation. So this is like a journey. It's not like me just getting up and going to bring my daughter to school and go to work. It's a 10-20 minute thing. No, this is like a 2-hour journey before work and then like a 2-hour journey after work. And it's not even that far, but it's just the amount of things I had to do in the different places I was going to. And so I just felt like I couldn't take it. At that point in time, I ended up going to therapy so that I can, get my mind back on straight, because I really felt like I lost it. I started talking to them about all my childhood traumas and things that possibly are keeping me held back inside of the position I am. And with that, it helped me a lot because I was able to go within and understand that, I'm not wrong. It's just that people who were around me were also aiding to the fact that I had PTSD. So the people who I was around, they benefited off of me being in this position because I didn't stand up for myself. I was people pleasing. I was doing everything for everybody else. I was trying to make everybody else happy, and I wasn't focused on myself. It's not the fact that they knew that this is what was happening. It's just the fact of the matter. It's not a placing blame on anybody. It's just how life works. everybody is around everybody, and we never know what other people are going through in a situation. So we have to be mindful of how people can really be going through things mentally in their own lives, and they won't tell you about it. So it was this one day that I went and got my job back, because I was like, you know what, I need me a job. So I went back and I, begged for my job back, and they gave it back to me because I was a good employee. Like, I was a good worker. I really killed it at that job, and it's because I had a passion for when talking to people, and I love to get to know people, and I love to help people no matter the job. So if it's car sales, or whether it's me being in a DME company, if it's me being in a cashier job, it doesn't matter. I'm always gonna have that same positive attitude, because I understand the love that needs to be brought out into the world, because what I want for myself is what I need to want for other people. And in Conglomerate, we can all build a society that will be able to cultivate that experience for everybody else. But it takes having a group effort and having that perspective of knowing that you're not the only one around. You're not the only one who feels something. You're not the only one who is going through something in a point in time. So in this day, I got my job back. So a few days later, I'm trying to get to work, and it was 95 degrees. So I knew that I had to, take a walk to the bus station, but I was just so tired. And my roommate, they were using the shower at the time, so I ended up late, missing the bus. So I had to walk. So I decided, all right, let me walk right now. I'm damn near run. I also have my daughter, so that's another thing I have to consider. She doesn't walk that fast, and she barely likes to walk. So as we're walking there, she's like, it's too hot. So I have to put my daughter on my back. And by the time we get to the position of, like, we walk 10 minutes down the hill, now we're at the hill where we have to walk up. And I had to put her on my back. We're hot. We're about to pass out. Well, I mean, at least I felt like I was about to pass out, and walk up the hill. And as I was walking, like, I'm almost there, and I'm literally almost to the hill where my daughter's school was. And I actually seen somebody I know. I was literally thinking in my head, like, I wish that I could get a ride right now. And the person who I knew, they literally just was like, hi, drove right past me. And, it's things like that that you never considered could be a big deal to somebody. But it's really just the act of being thoughtful. But I never looked at it like that until I got to this point in my healing journey, because it's to know when people who are around you can watch you struggle. Those are people that you shouldn't really have in your life, because those people, they don't mind to see you going through stress, even if they're there in the immediate moment to be able to save you, to help you. If they choose not to, that's not something that you have to hold over them, but it's also something that can expose to you what your relationship is to them. So I was like, okay, whatever. So I kept going up to the hill, and I kept bringing my daughter to school. So boom, my daughter's school was on another hill that was also like almost this high. So I had to run up that hill. I ran up the hill and I dropped her off. The lady complained to me, because she always complained. And then when I went down the hill, I had to run, and I just caught the bus. I was like, hallelujah, thank you, God. All right, so I caught the bus, and I went to work. I'm sitting on the bus, I'm sweating. There's mad school kids on there, and I get to work. I have a great day, but you don't have the same trip to go back. So I get prepared, and I get on that bus, and I go and I pick up my daughter. So I go pick up my daughter, and I know that if I get on the bus and I get off the bus, I can't get back on the bus. I have to wait until the next bus comes. So I go and get my daughter. It's still like 95 degrees, super hot. And I'm trying to think, like, should I walk back? Like, what should I do? What should I do? Because at this point in time, like, I just had started my job back, so I didn't have money to buy an Uber. I didn't have money for anything besides, like, making sure that me and her could eat. So I went into this toy store that was there, and I just sat in there. It was AC. It was so cool. And me and Sarai just, we looked at all the toys that were around, and I was telling her, I'm like, as soon as I get some money, I'm going to get you one of these toys, any toy you want. And which I did, but we're not going to talk about that. We're still talking about the fact that God showed himself that day. So after I get out of there, I wait until the bus comes, because I know what time the bus comes. So it stops right in front of that toy store. I go out and I get on the bus because I'm like, yes, now I could take the bus to the bus station and get on the bus and then go home. I don't have to walk home. I could just take the bus to go home because it's too hot for me and my daughter to be walking. Like, we're gonna get a sunburn. And yes, Black people can't get sunburn. Black people can get sunburn. It's just the fact that our skin takes longer to get sunburned because we do have that melanin to protect our skin. We do have that. But the sunburn is really going to show up in ways where we see it's going to look like aging and skin damage, as in like you could get moles, or you could get you know, any type of dark circles on your skin. You can get these things from excess exposure to the sun. And in addition to that, your skin can get hyperpigmentation. But I was on that bus and I'm sitting there and I'm like, thank you, God. Like, thank you. I made it. We finally made it. This journey is over. And there was a lady on the bus, an old lady. And I'm pretty sure she was a Haitian woman. I don't remember her name, but she was definitely a church-going woman. And she was saying, she came up to me and she was talking to me, and I was talking to her about Soraya, and I was just like, I'm always that type of person that no matter what I'm going through, nobody will ever know what I'm experiencing because I don't tell anybody and I don't show it. But this woman, her discernment shot right through my soul because she came up to me and she said, here. She dapped me up just like my grandmother used to when I was a kid. When my grandmother used to see us, she used to give us a little $10, dap us up. This woman, she reminded me of my grandmother. She came up to me, she gave me $50, and I could have cried. Like, I didn't want to cry because, you know, I'm a very strong, independent woman. But I didn't want to cry right then, but I definitely expressed my gratitude, and like, I gave thanks to her, I gave thanks to God, because I just knew it was God who sent her to me. Because one, she told me herself, like, I felt like God wanted me to give this to you. And those are the experiences that showed me the most that God is always there. Even when the people around you seem to be there and they really can't help you, God will always help you. But your faith has to be strong. You have to be strong enough in knowing that you can make it. Because I know that that day, I did not have the motivation to go to work, but I did know that I needed that money. So with the strength that I had and that God gave me to get up that morning, I hiked it all the way to that daycare, sweating. I know when I got to work, I was smelling like sweat. I still look presentable, but I was smelling like sweat. And it's just the little things that happen when you know that you have faith in everything that you can do. You never know what type of blessings you can receive along your road until you actually embark on that path and really have the true faith, never letting go, no matter how difficult the times go. Because sometimes things will be up and sometimes things will be down. It's just like a pendulum. It goes like this, then it goes like that. You'll understand how it feels to be at this point. You'll understand how it feels to be at this point. But when you have that understanding, that faith that you'll always be able to make it through, that pendulum's never gonna stop swinging, that's when you're able to continue to keep on going, knowing that at the end of this, there is going to be a bright side. Right now, I'm just at the bottom of the pendulum. It's still swinging. It's on its way up. You just have to wait for the circumstances to present itself for it to change, but keep your faith and keep your actions going. Never stop, because when you want something and you ask for it, you can get it. It's all manifestation. It's all you being a part of God and God helping you create. It's a coexisting relationship. And the stronger your faith is, the easier it is to see how these doors open for you. Thank you guys so much for tapping in with me today. This has been the 5D experience with KAS the Bestie, where the frequency is high and what? The vibes are real.
I got air in my lungs, I'm so lucky. I got shoes on my feet, I'm so lucky. Got a roof over my head, I'm lucky. I got water to drink, I'm so lucky. Got light in my eyes, I'm so lucky.